Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am working on the water tanks for our rain collecting system. Right now it's a little messy over here, hoses and buckets laying everywhere. I gotta clean that up. But the two black tanks there get filled from the spring, and sometimes when it rains, silt gets mixed in with the rainwater, or not the rainwater, the spring water. And the bottom of the tanks get filled with silt, so I just gotta clean those out. And I built a sand filter for the spring, so that will collect all of the silt. So from now on, any water that we get from the spring will be filtered. So this hopefully be the last time I gotta clean those two tanks out. That tank there is the rain collecting tank, and I have a first flush diverter on it, and then I have another filter that catches most of it, but every now and then we will get some debris from the roof down in there. But that's no big deal because we have two house filters that filter it out before it goes into the house. So let me show you guys what I'm dealing with. All right, so I don't know if you can see. There we go. So we got the bottom of this tank is full of silt. So I just have to clean this out. I have to pump the rest of this water out. So I got my pump in there. I got pump that off. Mason, go and make sure the power strip's turned on. And then our last, and then the last tank over here, it is full of muddy, cloudy water. And that's what happens when we get a huge downpour or hurricane. It turns a lot of the water into mud, or it just makes it cloudy. So that's why I made a sand filter. So the water comes in through the spring, will go in there and gets filtered through the sand and turns into crystal clear water. So I'm just going to pump that water into the sand filter and then into that tank, and it'll clean it out, clear it up nicely. So, but let's go ahead and let's get this tank pumped off, and let's climb down there. I gotta climb down in there and clean it out. All right, let's pump it off, and I'll come back when it's completely pumped out. Might take about an hour. So while we're waiting for this tank to pump off, I figured I'd explain how everything is plumbed up. So there we go. So this tank is a 1,550 gallon. The back tank is the same as the front, so another 1,550. This tank is a 1,075. This is sitting on grade. Those two tanks I dug down and buried them so they would all be at the same height. And they're all plumbed together underground. There's a hole here that I have a shut-off valve, and I don't shut them off every time, only when I have to clean them out. So I just get post hole diggers, dig it out, turn the tank off. Each of the tanks have its own shut-off valve, so I can, if there's a problem with the tank, instead of losing all our water, I can shut each tank down. So the back tank comes in between these two tanks, and then it tees off. That tank joins this tank, and then it goes underground, and then it tees off again. That goes down underground, and then it comes up into the water pump. Into the water pump there, and then it goes to the water pump. It goes through. There's a filter here, and then another sediment filter, and then another sediment. So I usually put a 10 micron filter in that, and then I put either a 5 or a 1 micron in that. And then it goes down into the pressure tank, and then the pressure switch, and then it goes back out into the blue hose. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a blue PEX hose there. And then it tees off, and then it comes underground to where, let's see here. It comes basically underground over to the boiler, heats up, comes out, goes back underground, and then goes back into the cabin over there. And then it joins, it goes into the cabin where we have everything plumbed up. So that is that. I think that's pretty much it on how everything's plumbed. And most of you already know that water will find its own level. So as long as all 3 tanks valves are open, all the tanks will have the same level in there. But I try to have 1 tank as a reserve, so that back tank, once everything is topped off, I'll close that back tank off. So if we ever have a busted hose or something, we're not pumping out all of our water. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So the sand filter is back there, and it's plumbed directly into this tank. So the water gets pumped through the top, and it flows through the sand, and it cleans it up, and it goes into this. And I'll show you the inside of that tank. So this is the water coming from the sand filter. And you can see how clear that water is. And sand filters do work. So this tank's a little dirty, but that's just mainly stuff that bypasses the sock filter, the first flush diverter, and the sock filter. It comes off of the roof. But that's our water. So yeah, let's walk around. So on the other side of this, here's the pipe, goes directly into there, and then this is the rain collecting on the cabin. The gutter comes down, get that cleaned out, comes up, goes down into here, and then there is a sock filter, and then this bucket's got a bunch of holes drilled all the way around it, about 3 inches from the bottom, so anything bypasses the sock filter, it gets caught in the bottom of that. But the stuff that you see in this tank is already it's small. It was small stuff that bypassed the sock filter. But there's that. So let's see how this tank's doing. We are almost there. So we still got probably about 2 more inches left in the bottom. So, all right. I'm gonna wait for that to finish pumping off, and then I'll show you guys how I clean it out. So first, I put a 5-gallon bucket in there upside down, so I have something to step on. So I just climb on up and I step down inside on that blue bucket. Gotta take my hat off. And now I'm inside. And this is how I get out. I just kind of jump and lift. Okay, we are in the tank now. And so basically I just take the hose and spray all the muddy water over to the lowest point in the tank. And the sump pump will pump it out. Okay, the tank is clean, or clean enough. So the only thing left is that pile, that little bit of pile, just a little bit of leaves and rocks and stuff. So I just will gather as much as I can with my hands. Down on the ground and take the hose and squirt it in there. Perfect. All right. Now we get to climb out. yes, it's a tight fit. Okay, that's how I clean one of these tanks. Now I gotta get the 5-gallon bucket out. And there we go. So now this tank is ready to be put back in service. And then I have to just pump the muddy water out of that back tank and let it filter, and then I can clean that back tank out. But right now I can go ahead and open the valve and watch all that nice clean water flow in. All right, let's turn the valve on. All right, now these two tanks here will equalize in the same level. However, this one has already gone down about 3 or 4 inches. You can see the water level, water line. So this tank probably here I'll probably clean out once those, I'll clean this tank out once those 2 tanks are cleaned out and topped off. I'll go ahead and stick the sump pump in this one, pump everything off, and just clean that little bit of debris down there. So under about 1 inch of rain, we collect about 700 gallons off of our roof. And this, like I said, this is a 1,075 gallon tank, so it doesn't quite fill it up. But with the spring and the rainwater, it keeps our tanks pretty well topped off. But yeah. Alright, I think that's it for this one. If you guys like these videos, just, well, you know what to do. Alright, take care. I'll see you next time.